Brave. Right, I'm going to say Gareth will win for 7th, Jester P2, Ustein P2, and I think Scotland will get the podium. There we go. That random. Going to go for a wee mix. Ribo says can I take control of the cars, but we're going to get a good picture, a good broadcast image of the 5 lights which have just been turned on there. We're at 4 lights, we're at 5. Craig's on the left, Jester's on the right. The cars are revving, the lights are off, and we're off and racing here in the Marina Bay in the Far East, and it's looking to be a good start for Craig, but Jester's going to try and keep up the inside. Hyper's looking to go the long way round, which he makes it work as off the track though, so Jester's forcing him to go the long way round, and they're still gone side by side through turn 3 up into 4 and 5. And we've got SBH just keeping his place there. Dodgy, Stein in P6. Maxwell already up into 7th, so he's made a few places off the start as well. Scott Laney's went backwards as soon as I predicted them for the podium, so that's just standard in here. Lofty's went backwards. Gareth also went backwards as he's P9. Side by side action here between the Mercedes and the Williams as the timing screens go again. And we've got Baggy Fan just filtering in. Side the top 10 and he gets rammed up the rear, and that's just created a domino effect there.
Word. Yeah, there's a lot of people got damaged because of that.
And
VSC.
And it's a VSC, and I mean, I was gonna say something, but I think I might as well keep my tongue in my mouth.
Yeah, that was.
I'm
not quite sure what happened there. Obviously, I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. I was looking at the battles at the back, see what was going on. But then that happened, and then pretty much everybody who was going up to them just got damaged. So not many people avoided that. I think maybe Russell actually got away with no wing damage. So he's made a pretty decent start. But yeah, Craig got away nicely, and Crafty and Hyper's had a bit of a ding dong, but they stay in the same place.
I think it was just a matter of like everybody was just carrying too much speed into turn 8, and it looked like Lofty and Gareth were fighting. Lofty just settled back in behind the Red Bull. He slowed down. Baggy Fan just slammed out of the back. And because it creates such a start-stop structure, it's just meant everybody else is just kind of hitting at the back. And it's just like, Paul's out the back of Baggy Fan. Ned calls out the back of Paul. Like, and it just kind of ricochets down the field. And now half of them look to have some damage.
Yeah,
so we're already going to see some pit lane action. We're already going to see people either blessed by an early stop or hindered by an early stop. And it looks to me that there is 4 drivers in the pits, but I definitely seen more than 4 separate bits of carbon fibre, and at turn 8 and 9 as we've seen SBH looking like he did slap the wall there in the back of the screen there, but Jester looking to
all the time the screens are absolutely.
I was about to say like demons, and I'm like, demons is nowhere near the front, and like it's just shuffling about, so apologies, and hope that you just stand by and get that updated for you as and when it does. But Jester already losing touch with Craig. Craig just seems to have bolted on that restart. As all the front 5 are on the mediums. That's a nice camera angle actually there on board the racing point, as we're seeing SBH through the Anderson Bridge on the right hand side there, which is the main racing line. But Jester is dropping off for Craig in front, and we're already starting to see a bit of a train forming behind Jester, and this is spanning down to at least Baggy Fan. Jay Geddes is just outside the top 10. I've seen Darnell saying Jay Geddes to get top 10. He is literally 2 seconds away from that, but there is still another 30 laps to go here in Singapore. And already we can see that we've got Paul, Ned, Clot, Lemon and Sprightly all already onto the hard tyres, so they all need to pit for repairs.
Yeah, apparently people are 2 minutes behind. I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, Scott Laney and Gareth going at it into turn 1. I was about to say Maxwell for P11 or P12, where P12 has already halved his grid start, and he may not be on the preferred tyre, but he's making hay while the sun isn't shining. But yeah, you know what I mean.
We definitely we knew what you mean. We definitely do, and I think Maxwell. I didn't really see his start, but I seen him just kind of like creeping up to P8, 7. Then now he's up to 6, and he's overtook his teammate, and he's still keeping in touch with Dodgy. So Maxwell's already up 6 places. He did start P12 to that calculation as well. So he still thinks the soft tyre at the start is the optimal. Which, I mean, if he manages his tyres and does keep a relative pace, then I definitely can't see where it'll go wrong. But looking to see the battle for P9, Lofty and Baggy Fan were quite close coming at the Anderson Bridge there. But Baggy Fan just kind of dropped off there, understeering. Oh, and he's got a slide on as well, and he done quite well to save that. But as you can see on the left-hand side, Maxwell's already up 6 places. Russell for P20.
Oh,
Already
Baggy.
P12 and Baggy Fans. Baggy's just drifting in some of these turns. He's thinking he's doing a bit of rallying. He's definitely just deciding to get a bit of a drift on, and that's going to kill his tyres. And he's slowly drifting back for Lofty, who is
he's hit the
slowly
wall
catching
as
him with Scott
well.
Laney. And Baggy Fan
Brush that wall. Apparently Jay Geddes and Baggy Fan were talking about how they would crash together in this race, and they are on the same bit of road. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they don't come together. Hopefully there'll be a good fight going on. But yeah, it looks like sooner or later Baggy Fan's going to spin into the wall if he's not careful. His Hyper's is getting cosy behind the rear wing of Crafty. His Crafty is having a bit more pace, setting the faster lap last time round. So maybe he's starting to get into the groove and close that gap to Craig. But yeah, it seems like people are just taking it easy so far, just to get through that open stage of the race.
I think what's quite interesting, now that you actually mentioned that, it kind of like delivers the idea for a theory that, well, I say theory, but Maxwell's on the soft tyres, so like everybody is being very cautious on the start with medium tyres. Try to just make through turn 1, 2 and 3 and through the first lap in one piece, because if they pick up damage it really does ruin their run for the race. And Maxwell's just decided to go for the softer tyre, and he's just like, I'm going to go for it. And I think that really has worked to some extent. He isn't really catching dodgy, but he's got his teammate right back on him. So the Red Bull's running 6 and 7 at the moment before the wee gap to Scott Laney at 2.5 seconds.
He needs to get out of the way.
Tyres have really, I don't know if the soft tyres have really seen their heyday, but he definitely does look to be holding up his teammate to some extent.
Scott Laney's in the pits. That's early. That is very early. I'm not quite sure why. I don't know if he's got a wing change or not. I'll have a look. As Lofty has left the session, so I'll get him back in. Yeah, it's a wing change for Scott Laney. Lofty, where
so he's probably just slammed his wing off or something somewhere. Jay Geddes though is going to have DRS on Baggy Fan. Baggy Fan's look at DRS, so he's going to have to rely on his engine power here. Is he going to go defensive? He's going to allow Jay Geddes to get up the inside into turn 7, into the hard braking zone, and he's pushed Baggy Fan off the road, and he's run wide, but he's going to have the inside into turn 8, and they're going to go side by side, and Jay Geddes is going to nearly brush the outside wall there, and Baggy Fan gets the elbows out, runs a bit wide through turn 9, and I think this battle might be going on for quite a time yet. Baggy Fan does have some wing damage as well to contend with, so that's probably why he's gone as slow as he is. Lofty slowly kind of coming back into reach for this battle here for the tail end of the points, as the Haase Russell, after starting P20, already up into P11 and in touching distance at a point. Again, still very early in the race. It's a matter of how well these drivers manage their tyres and how they carry out their strategy.
Can you tell me Lofty's 4 numbers after his name, please?
His 4 numbers is 4794. As we're going to see Gareth again right behind his teammate, and again no quite close enough. I think Maxwell's really kind of starting to step on Gareth's tails a wee bit here, with the soft tyres kind of really going off the wall here, and Maxwell just
he's holding them up.
On 1, 2 and 3. I think this should be an easy move for Gareth, but it's the thing there, like Maxwell's gone slow through some of these turns and then gets a great launch because Gareth has to respond to the speed that he's gone originally, and that's allowing Maxwell to get a bit of breathing room down these straights. So Red Bull really looking like they're being their own enemy rather than their own friend.
Yeah, if Maxwell has any I'll say, have you had any I don't know what the word is, foresight on what's actually going to happen towards the end? You know that it's better off that Gareth goes fast now, and that I'll play the team game really, as Gareth is really not enjoying it, as I've lost all my intervals at the same time.
Same. I've definitely not got them either, so I'm going to have to rely on the trap map to see where everybody is. But by the looks of it as well, like that's the kind of thing as well. Like I don't really know how the drivers structure their communication, because sometimes the teammates aren't in the same party, other times they are, and I think Maxwell and Gareth might not be in that same party as each other to communicate and discuss the strategy. It's ideal that they've split the strategy because Maxwell's on the softs and Gareth's on the mediums, but that means they're not going to potentially cross paths unless some obscure happens. But Maxwell would really be getting told now, let me go, I'm faster, I'm on better tyres, your tyres are done, you need to let
Whoa,
me go.
lemons off into the wall. I was just having a look.
No.
Yeah, he's just completely missed his breaking point, and he's just tried to get out, keep out the wall, but the wall came up too quickly. And he's one bit of his wing off. Fortunately, Gareth is now passed finally. Max only can. He runs wide though.
Oh, and he's run wide.
Oh, he's in the
Oh,
wall.
and he spun!
Is he still?
And
He's
he
still in.
spun!
Other than the Grand Prix somehow. I mean, Red Bull's front left suspension must be made of absolute rock. He's going to crash out if he's not careful. Virtual safety car. Oh, be careful, Gareth.
That's quite sensible, I think, for the VSC to come out there because the debris is right on the racing line into turn 9. So, and that's the kind of same thing as well, like running a bit wide into turn 7 and 8, into the left-hander at the end of the straight, is completely sent. The marbles on the outside is just sent him spinning into the wall, and that's allowed Maxwell to get back through. So, I mean, I didn't really see what happened. I don't know if Maxwell was defending it hard or
No, it
he was
wasn't.
up the inside. Or
Went on board with Maxwell, and I think Gareth just missed the corner. It was miles ahead by that time. He just missed the corner. Oh, please get around. Yeah, he just missed the corner, ran wide, went off the track, and then he just spun. There's no other way to put it. He just lost grip completely. I don't know if it's just because there's no grip on the outside there, but yeah, he just lost it. There's Maxwell pits as well. That's not going to be good.
oh no!
That's the yellow flag for Demons. I think has gone off.
Oh,
At the hairpin.
oh my god! No. See, here's the thing, right? I literally just said 2 seconds ago they're on 2 different strategies, so they'll no need to pit at the same time. Where's that Pikachu meme or GIF or
Yeah.
emoji? Because that's kind of what I need. Like, I think that's just kind of what that is. Like, I was like, they're not gonna step like they were doing. In respect, they were doing a bad enough job in communicating, because I thought Maxwell would have let him go, or Gareth would have said to him, right, let me go. But again, it's that matter if they're on the same page or no. And Hypers is looking right on the back of Jester now, so just sorry to kind of cut myself off there, but like, that's definitely not going to help Gareth out. And Gareth's on the mediums as well, so he thinks the mediums can. No, so he was on mediums already.
Yeah, he's going to have
And
to
he's
pit again
picking for mediums
regardless.
again. Right, so he's going to have to pit again. That's interesting.
I mean, if
the medium window is about now.
If it wasn't going bad already, it's just like an avalanche. Just absolutely, they just come all at once. So yeah, it's like all his bad days roll into one. This race so far.
Like, that's exactly it, and like, you can have such a good run in league racing, and you can have such a good run in like SLR or whatever you race, and then there's just that one race that just ruins you. Like, it just decides to it just decides to make your life difficult in every possible way. Like, and I think that really is just it for Gareth. I don't think it's the end. A safety car could help him out. We are only a third.
Yeah.
Like, we're just short of a third of the way through, so we can definitely probably see a safety car at some point. But we've seen 2 VSCs already for debris, and it's just a matter of are we going to see it again. And while I jump over Hypers, I'll jump onto the other racing point of Dodgy, who's right up behind SPH. As the battle for the top 5, as the battles within the top 5, Craig managing a 1.7 second lead to Jester. The pace is quite similar. Hypers was pressuring Crafty for a bit there, but he has just dropped at the DRS zone again. But SPH and Dodgy are quite close for company in P4 and 5, but they're 8.5 seconds off the top 3.
Yeah, Gareth's already made a move then. There's a little triplet of cars here. Involves Baggy Fan Russell and Deadpool. And yeah, for the battle for P4, SPH has got damage. To his front left end plate, I think. Oh, I think I saw he had damage. Anyway, that would probably explain why Dodgy is rapidly catching him up. But yeah, this is going to be, if it stays how it is, it's going to be a good day for Racing Point and Constructors.
Sorry, Max. Baggy Fan running outside in the DRS zone, and he makes it work. What a beautiful move. Sorry, Max. I just completely cut you off there.
Fine.
That was a beautiful move there. Faye Baggy running outside Russell getting into turn, whatever one that is. But you know what it is. It's on the exit of the Anderson Bridge. That DRS straight. It's like turn 16. It's like turn 16, 17 on the lap. And that is going to put Baggy Fan right onto the back of Paul through.
Maxwell's just got ahead of Scott at turn 1 as well.
And there's another wee battle between 3 drivers here for P9. Maxwell's on the hards, he's going to go to the end.
Gareth's passed Russell down in turn 1 as well.
So Gareth really kind of cutting his way through the field as well. Scott is finding himself in between Maxwell and Scott Laney, so Scott and Scott Laney pretty much on the same piece of track.
Dodgy's getting held up massively now. Yeah, I mean, he got close. This is just the nature of this track. Yeah, you've just seen what Darnell said in the chat.
I've just seen what Darnell said in the chat.
I was going to leave that one to you. Sorry to interrupt your moment of whatever that is, happiness. It's Scott versus Scott and again, and they're coming into the final sector now. Scott, oh my!
Oh, he's gone for it! Oh, late move. All right, and he makes it work.
Okay then.
I mean, I think that was. I mean, that was pretty brave for a start because he left the braking so late, and then it looked like he cut a good bit of the corner to make it work.
Yeah.
But I think Scott Laney was literally just like, I'm done waiting behind this Ferrari, I'm just going to launch it.
That might...
Nicky is literally just said in the chat, send it. And I think send it is the only way that you can sum that move up, because that is mega. And that's a racing point! That's a racing point, Max, in the yellow flag.
Oh, it is.
That's Hypers.
That's Hypers off. It's done. He must have ran wide, I think, or something. But that is... Well, that's going to put SPH and Dodgy up in position, you'd think, as they've just come into the pits, but Scott Laney is ahead of Dodgy as well. Dodgy is...
And Scott's
just lost a lot of time.
As well. Sorry, Max. I didn't know if that's what you were supposed to say.
No,
but Dodgy running outside into turn 7.
I can't believe... I'm just going to have a look at on board with SPH, see if he actually changed his front wing or not. Yellow flag in sector 2, that is a Renault round, that's virtual safety car. Scott Laney is out.
And Scott Laney?
Yeah, he's crashed.
Where?
Well, Russell crashed in but the other wall, I think, or whatever. Yeah. That's only a virtual safety car, surprisingly. So, yeah, it's a virtual safety car Grand Prix, as Craig and Crafty get an absolute... Their Christmas has come early. Literally. Yeah, and Hypers is in as well. Yeah. Oh, there's Lofty just completely cuts the track and gets a 5-second penalty, and he's going to have to serve that into the pits.
Oh.
Well, serve that in the pits when he comes in. He decides to stay out. Yeah, it's
Wait,
actually
you got a speeding penalty?
no. He cut the track under virtual safety car.
So it's still a 5 seconds for that. Oh, because you're gaining an advantage when you really kind of should be slowing down.
Crafty's on the mediums.
Oh.
That's a bit of a mistake, I think.
Oh, Crafty, is there something you're not telling us? I think Gareth... Gareth definitely needs to pit again because he went medium, but Jester's went
Or even
medium.
Maxwell's got ahead of Hypers.
Is this a mistake?
I think, I mean, I know Gareth did it. I've no idea what's going on anymore. Yeah, that's just throwing me off completely. But Maxwell is in a net P3 at least, and he might be getting a podium after all. It's a long way to go, but yeah, he's going to have a big job on his hands to keep Hypers and SVH behind, and maybe even Dodgy as well.
Definitely, like SPH and Hypers are on free-lap, fresher tyres. Maxwell's got the benefit of having them up to temperature already, but Hypers and SPH, once they get up and kicking, I think they're going to be pretty much nicking him left and right for this position.
Yeah.
Maxwell looking a bit slow off the exit, and he's not even going to defend the inside unless he's going to leave it late, which he kind of does, but up the inside Hypers goes. Maxwell's going to try and hook the outside, bit of argy-bargy through turn 16 there, and is that going to allow SPH through as well? Oh, and SPH just right up close in again. He gets up close and Hypers is locked up out wide. He's cut across that chicane there. Maxwell, Hypers is going to have to go defensive. They're going to go side by side. No, here, troops. No, here. And SPH is looking on the outside as well.
How have they made that work?
God.
I have no idea. Oh, SPH.
Oh, and SPH!
Oh, wow.
Oh, sorry. And there's Dodgy running the outside, and at the final two turns, running the outside goes the other racing point. The two racing points looking to make some gains, and they're basically on the charge of CJ Geddes jumping into the pits there as well. And, I mean, I really...
Take a breath, I think. Crafty is trying to make his tyres work. Yeah, I mean that was breathtaking action. I've no idea how Maxwell and Hypers, I don't know how one of them wasn't in the wall. So Hypers locked up and went miles off track in the first place to cause that, and yeah, SVH almost put it in the wall and it's allowed Dodgy to come past. Dodgy gaining massively from these people fighting, but Hypers puts himself up into P4, and that'll be a net P3 once Lofty comes into the pits.
So,
yeah.
Right. Question. Because SPH gets a bit of a wiggle on and again, but like see Jester, he was on the mediums at the start, wasn't he? He went medium. Gareth went medium.
Yeah.
We've seen Russell at the bottom, he went medium soft, because he's pitted again. Paul's went onto the hard back onto the mediums.
Craig is about to make a move here, I think.
As well. Oh, into turn 1 they go. Craig versus Jester. And they've touched.
No.
And they've touched. There's contact. Jester's going to have to reverse. And I didn't really catch the food. I didn't really catch all of that there, but it looked like Craig and Jester were trying to just go side by side. And it looked like Craig just a bit too early. I don't know. I'm no one to go and throw.
Yeah,
I mean, chuck the blame on somebody.
We saw this last week where Craig turned in on Nedclaw, but Nedclaw wasn't. It was for the lead. Well, I think it was for the lead. I can't remember. But Nedclaw stayed out. He was behind, and they were trying to get past the traffic. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to say the same things happened there. But it's Ascari and first part of Ascari and turn 1 here, a similar type of corner, you'd say. It's a bit more slow speed, but yeah, I mean that is. Yeah, I mean Crafty doesn't really get that much luck.
You could say he has to craft his luck.
That is a Mercedes of Deadpool, I think, who's in the wall or somewhere.
That's him at the back at the tail end of the circuit. I don't know if there's any damage on that Merc. No, from what I can see, he's lost it! And he's lost it, and that's a big accident. That's a big accident there.
Is it going to be a safety car or?
That is right on the exit, the double left right at the end of the track. It is fast, so any mistakes there could be
No, nothing's happening.
devastating. I mean, this could be a late call. We've got a Haas in the pits, just waiting to see if there is going to be a safety car called. Oh, nothing for it. All right, okay, that's fine. That is.
And Russell's decided to just dart back on track, and the race controller not happy with that at all, and giving a 5-second time penalty for cutting or crossing the white line on exit. So, yep.
Is it? Did they just cut it intentionally or accidental? Because it is a really tight exit.
He literally come out and just turn right on that
right,
left-hander.
that is probably going to get looked at then. That will probably get looked at.
He's given a 5-second time penalty from the game for good measure. As Maxwell hasn't really got the pace at the moment. Definitely not that of Hypers. And he's starting to get gobbled up a little bit. Gareth's even joined the fray. As Dodgy is going to shape up for a move, is he? I think he's too far back for that, and he doesn't go for a move. He has to sit behind him for, well, maybe another lap at least. Still get another bite at the DRS. But yeah, have a look.
And this is a I was going to hint to particular foods there, but it's a Red Bull sandwich between 4th and 7th. As we've got Maxwell leading the charge, and we've got Gareth bringing it up in the rear. That's the yellow flag for
Lofty.
turn 8, and that's Lofty.
Just come out
and that's a safety car.
Oh, okay.
And that's a full safety car.
He's lost his whole front wing, and that's the safety car. I mean,
this game.
I mean, Crafty,
Really?
please just come into the pits, because that is the biggest lifeline you'll ever get. Put on the hards. Nicole's got to drive through for spinning under the safety car. Yeah, change your front wing, put on the hards. You might lose a couple of positions, but it'll be worth it. Same for Gareth as well. You might lose a couple of positions, but you're essentially back in the game.
Pretty much.
Let's see.
Don't
tell me Maxwell's in again.
Under.
Oh, they're double
in.
second again. They're double second again.
Oh,
Red Bull.
Red Bull!
Oh, and Gareth's in the pit lane.
Oh
my
my
word.
God,
I mean,
Gareth.
what is going on? Oh my word.
Oh. Honestly, Max, see, since you're a Red Bull driver, you need to drill in the rules.
Go!
You just drill it into them.
Why is this?
Take your sweet time.
Jesus Christ, why is it? Oh, no idea. Oh, and Russell's ignoring yellow flag. He's been disqualified. It's all kicking off at the moment. I have no idea what's going on. Red Bull need to transfer their real life skills in the pit lane to the game, because that was like a Ferrari pit stop, to be honest. So I don't even know what I'm witnessing. Yeah,
Honestly,
sorry for the team bias, but that was just incredibly bad.
I can hear your frustration, and it's so funny. It's
Get
so
on with
great,
it.
man, because, I mean, don't get me... come on, like, get a move on, lads. There's a race to be raced. Like, I'm just looking at the chat, because the chat just went on. It's honestly, we can use this time just to...
I mean, I said it was getting worse to Gareth, and I mean, that is just like the nail. I mean, that's like someone's just got a sledgehammer and just smacked it on the coffin.
just backhand them with it, man.
Yeah.
I think that's
well, they tried to use a
just...
sledgehammer to put the nail in the coffin, and they've just absolutely broken the coffin. I mean, he's still in 10th after all this, but he's got a 5-second time penalty to add to his name for spinning into the pit lane.
Oh man.
So yeah, we're only now halfway through this. So still got another, whatever it is, 15 laps to go, 14. Yeah, I've no idea how many laps. 15 laps to go now.
I honestly can't hack this. It's quite hard to keep a straight face, so it's quite good that it's a safety car, because it allows us time to like just try and like get a bit of composure back. But I'm gonna just look through some of the chat and just see what's been said. everybody was asking why Paul's incident was their safety car, mainly because it was right on the racing. It was on the racing line. It was off the track. But like, if you go through the last 2 turns and have a mistake, exactly what happened to Paul, then you hit the marshals and then you hit Paul's car. Like, it's kind of like easy as that. Like, that should have been a safety car.
Yeah.
And then Lofty just drops his front wing at turn 8, which we're just coming through the new, and it's a safety car. I mean, fair enough. A full front wing on the track at this bit, because it is extremely tight.
Oh my god, it's a double stack for Ferrari as well.
Oh, that's just standard Ferrari. That's just Ferrari though. Like, I expect that for Ferrari in real life, but like Ferrari have just been like the meme in terms of pit stops, and SLR not so much. But like looking at the chat, I think everybody's just kind of like lost for words because everybody's saying like, as soon as the safety car came out, everybody was like, let's have it, scenes, up the SLR and all that, in between, and then Originals was like, how to miss a night for Gareth, I think, and then Panther was like the full shaft. I think Panther, sorry, is extremely like factual in that statement. I think he has just been dealt like the biggest shaft tonight. Like, and honestly, if Gareth gets any kind of solid result, then he is the driver of the week. Never mind the day, the week.
Driver of the
Like,
year, I think. I think
exactly.
I think this, if he gets top 5, I think he instantly is my driver of the day. I don't even care because he's just yeah. I have no words for whatever debacle has gone on down at Red Bull.
I've just seen Darnell saying Gareth getting fisted. Just getting ruined. Original says Christian Horner will be pulling his hair out.
Mate, I'm pulling my hair out. I don't like Christian Horner.
Like, my head is in my like every time I just see something about Red Bull, like I'm just kind of patting my forehead and just like rubbing it, and I'm just kind of like, oh, Red Bull, come on, really? Like, come on, like, honestly, Maxwell's got some intent for his teammates. He's just not having it.
To be fair, I mean, Maxwell's on medium tyres compared to everybody's hards. I mean, he's going to be absolutely fine if he gets this right.
I'm kind of wanting him to get the podium just so we can.
I mean,
ask him
if Maxwell gets the podium,
to
then
shaft his teammate.
yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I mean, it's just been the Red Bull show. But yeah, I mean, Crafty has got a reprieve, let's say. And he finds himself, well, he's out of the podium positions, but I mean, he's still within a shot now the safety cars come out. But yeah,
I'll just apologise as well for like the lack of professionalism. But can you really help us? Cause, like, can you really be angry?
I apologise. I was just angry at what I just. And then he didn't even go. Max, he must have like missed his rev thing to get out of the pits or something.
It was a wee bit Alonso and Hamilton in Hungary all the years ago, like in 2007, and Alonso.
Oh, Sprightly's gone off.
No, this is the time.
God's sake.
Sprightly is just losing some time there as well.
The car in the lap, by the way. After all that.
Right, we'll get back to the front of the field. It is going to be Craig leading us away. Originals, it says number 2 car is cost for Gareth, definitely. And we'll get down there saying we seen Merckx cry on Twitch and Coms is seeing his own team flop, Peter. Oh, we'll get back to that one as we're going to have Craig just about to start us back underway for these final 13 laps, and the 2 racing points are very keen to get back underway. Craig is waiting a wee while here to get himself back up and running, but is he going to get a good enough launch? How late is he going to leave the restart? I think he's away, Max. I think he's already through the final 2 turns, and he's away, and that's a perfect restart there as we see the SPH get a wee bit of a slide on there, and we're starting to see some drivers trying to battle for position at the back of the field there, as we can see some gone 2, even 3 wide into turn 1 and 2.
Surely
and
not.
Up the inside of the Dolphins.
2 cars. 2 cars in the straight. Oh, nice move, Bailey. Bit opportunistic.
and we've got Dingle Dolphin going to have Gareth going to run outside of him. Gareth looks up, but Dingle Dolphin's going to keep the place. Gareth looks up and runs wide. He's going to have a flying lemon and Lofty on his rear wing here. He's going to have to stay to the right hand side of the road here to keep defensive.
Baggy down the
Lemon's
inside
gone the
of
long
Jay
way.
Geddes ahead, by the
Lofty
way.
up the inside. Oh, and Jay Geddes and Baggy Fan picking up where they left off a few laps ago. And Baggy Fan already up into P7, Maxwell up into P6, and I think he really is in the driver's seat.
Oh, that's
as
going to be
he is
close.
on fresh and mediums.
Oh, don't go 3 wide or whatever you're going to go down here. I mean...
Oh, boys, Gareth
Oh!
up there.
Flying Lemon's in the wall.
Oh, and that's Lemon!
He's missed.
That's Lemon.
I have no idea how he hasn't rear-ended Gareth into the shadow around there, but he's avoided Gareth, thankfully. Otherwise, that would just been a night to forget. But yeah, Maxwell absolutely flying off the restart. Got Baggy, got...
Oh, and Lofty's up the inside.
Oh,
Scott Laney.
he's gonna
Dingle
roll.
Dolphin. Oh, and he's. I mean, to be fair, we've seen Scott Laney doing that to Scott and making it work somehow. I think Lofty's just took a page out of Scott Laney's playbook and he's just slammed his the Renault teammate into the wall there. Dingle Dolphin, does he have any damage? For what we can see,
No.
no quite, but there could be wee tiny bits of carbon fibre out of place. As we see Jay Geddes and Baggy Fan for P7, this wee train between them two, Lofty and Gareth. Lofty's on medium, so he definitely will look to have some kind of advantage. Jester had to go into the hards. If he had went medium hard
Oh,
and then back out to
Scott's
medium
made a move.
5, he would be in a strong place. And that's Scott. Let me see.
Up into P14. Yeah, we'll see. Maxwell is right on the back of Crafty. Crafty after fighting for P2 most rated hypers is now under pressure. He could find himself as low as P6. There's Nedclaw and Dingle Dolphin going out, and Dingle Dolphin is leaking positions like a broken roof, to be honest. So
There might be some damage on that Renault that we
yeah.
can't quite see with our eyes, so there must be some kind of hindrance there. But looking at the field, I'm on board with Gareth, who is in P10. Lofty's, I've just switched to Lofty, he's in P9. And this seems to be the wee battle between Baggy Fan down to Gareth, and Nedclaw might try and join in on this as well. So there could be a 5-man battle looking for P7.
Baggy
where four of them
Fan,
will get points.
Baggy Fan's tyres really showing their age. 13 laps compared to everybody who's under 10, so... Oh my word, Lofty got really close to the back of Jay Geddes there. I don't know if he gave him a little love tap or not, but yeah, he's got to be careful. Showing his front wing that much, DRS is now enabled, and Hypers can use that as he's in the 1 second zone. Dodgy is 2 seconds back, but yeah, Crafty has DRS to defend from Maxwell.
Oh, and we've got Sprightly and Dingle Dolphin switching places on the run into turn 1 as well. Sprightly as well. I just quickly seen in the chat that Sprightly is running a Senna tribute helmet, so that'll probably get him some support there. I do like a good Senna tribute helmet with the nice yellow with the green stripe around the side. And the AlphaTauri, I've seen Pierre Gasly had it in real life in AlphaTauri and Sprightly. Pine tribute as well.
We have a weather update. Someone says rain in 15 minutes. Pretty sure he does.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, pretty sure he does do the. Well, that would really put the cat amongst pigeons. Jay Geddes does love a good pigeon though. So yeah, I think that's actually. I think that's why the safety car came out. It wasn't the front wing. It was actually because there was pigeons on track.
So is
yeah.
that what it was?
Yeah,
Understandable.
I definitely didn't get paid to say that, but you know, I didn't get paid to say that. I said I'd mention at some point. Dodgy, however, swiftly moving on from that, is under threat, and Lofty and Jay Geddes going at it, and Lofty has put himself up into P8 ahead of Jay Geddes. Yeah, Dodgy is under pressure.
Definitely, he's got a wee train behind him. Maxwell is right at the end of this train on the mediums as well, so he's on the softer tyre, the faster tyre, and the...
Oh, what
Oh, he's letting Hypers!
Oh my
Hypers left.
word.
We'll try and get him back in, and that's going to kill any momentum forward to try and take the lead off Craig as the AI will drive. a good bit slower. Gareth going to put the slipstream into turn 1. Jay Geddes holding it round the outside. Gareth gone side by side through turn 1 and 2. And Gareth's going to have the inside for turn 3. Jay Geddes does run a wee bit wide there. We're getting a very weird camera angle there. But Jay Geddes has to concede the position. Gareth makes his way up into P9, and he'll definitely be on a charge as he tries to hunt down the McLaren Lofty just in front. And I think Sprightly might be looking to a wee go as well into turn 7. Is he quite close enough? I mean, he isn't close enough.
Scott and Dingle Dolphin side by side, and Scott shows him the door and slammed it straight in his face.
Getting very fun with defending. This is definitely going to be the times of hard defending as Hyper's AI is really kind of starting to create a bit of a bottleneck into the Anderson Bridge up into turn 16 as well. Craig's getting a really I was going to say Hyper lead there. It's a very healthy lead. I was reading Hyper's name there when I was...
Hyper's is going to rejoin right at the back of this train, I reckon.
And I think that might...
Oh, it's Maxwell.
Oh, he joined! Is he back in? Because he joined just right in front of Maxwell. Oh, yellow flags! Yellow flags, that's Gareth. Gareth is...
Hyper's in the wall. I think Maxwell had an illegal overtake. And he tried to...
names.
And he tried to let him go, and now Hypers is just rolling and stops.
He's just...
yeah, I think Maxwell had an illegal overtake from when he went through his ghost. So, and then he tried to let him go, and he probably let him go at the wrong point, and that is probably the end of Hyper's race, unfortunately. Yeah, and Maxwell has lost a lot of ground. So the front runners, but Craig is miles clear now.
That's really going to alleviate any kind of stress and pressure that he was facing for the racing point. But talk about racing point, Dodgy's going to feel the stress and the pressure they have in SBH and Jester right behind. So two of these three drivers will be fighting for the podium and will potentially be on the podium as it stands, because they are just building a gap to Maxwell after the incident there and getting the penalty, as you were saying.
Yeah.
Looking to see what else is really happening. Sprightly's on the back of Jay Geddes. Jay Geddes really dropped off the back of Baggy Fan, and Sprightly really going to start applying some pressure onto the Alfa Romeo in front. Scott going to have Gareth and Dingle Dolphin for close company, and that's going to be for the final point. With the way, how close the field really is. Oh, Sprightly spun!
Yeah,
Sprightly's lost his front right, and Sprightly is out of...
Oh, is that not even a safety car or whatever?
Is this a safety car, or are we going to just...
We're just going to carry on. I think we're just going to carry on. By the looks of it, nothing's come out yet. I mean, I don't really know why nothing. It's just yellow flags for that. That's why he's left the session. He's not going to be too happy with that at all. But yeah, that is heartbreaking for the Alpha Tower driver. Just lost it all behind. Jay Geddes. There you go.
Aye, he was right behind Jay Geddes. It looked like he was really going to shape up an opportunity onto the next lap, and then it looked like he just lit up the rears and away the car went.
Gareth on the back of Scott. He doesn't go for the move.
I think this move might just be a matter of time.
Yeah, I think Gareth is probably going to get at least a point at this rate. Wait and see on that one, but yeah. Maxwell, after trying to let Hypers go, is not really in contention for a podium or top 2 finish. At the moment, if Maxwell can get a move on and get third, then my prediction would be right, but we'll wait and see on that one. Oh, say that? No? Sort of stays ahead of Gareth.
And the battle for P9 is heating up. Gareth just looking like he's pushing Scott round these corners. For what I just saw there, Scott is on 6th lap over medium, so technically really should have the better tyre, but Gareth just looking a lot more comfortable in the hard compound. So maybe Scott's not quite up to speed, and Gareth looked like a bit of understeer there. I don't know if that was just dirty air. His wing seems to be intact, from what I can see on it. Jay Geddes is back up to the back of Baggy Fan, so this battle resumes once again. And we've got a battle for P2 brewing between Dodgy, SPH and Jester. It's going to be quite hard to keep up with everything that we're seeing at the minute, so we'll do what we can. I won't bother with Jay Geddes, who is in the DRS zone, as within reach.
Gareth is pretty much going to pass him now. Gives him the old squeeze.
Scott did look like he was going to defend it.
I thought he was going to been in the wall there.
But then I think Gareth just got close enough and was already alongside, so Scott was just kind of quite quick to concede the place, so Gareth up into P9, and I think he'll definitely have some time to catch up to Baggy Fan and Jay Geddes, so I think realistically 7th could still be the best result for Gareth, and if penalties are applied at the end, which we've seen penalties coming up at the bottom of your screens, I've barely kept up with penalties to be fair, so I couldn't tell you really what's been happening. So the final
result, high position again.
He is in P15. I think his first disconnection has just completely killed any
it's a shame
energy that he had, which is devastating purely because it was for the lead. He was giving Craig a run for his money at the end, and it really was shaping up to be this duel for the win right at the end of the race, and then he just had his disconnection, and it really did just throw that up in the air. And SPH as well, really just kind of talk about that. I don't like that camera angle, sorry, but we need to change that. But we've got Jester right on the back of SPH, and Dodgy. Like SPH was just outside the DRS range, and now he's back in it. So I don't know if Dodgy's maybe just a bit quicker in some of the slower, tighter bits of track, whereas SPH is maybe more aligned to get some speed, get the gap back down to DRS range on the straights. So Hypers is back, so he is going to see the race out with us, hopefully, if he does the disconnect. So let's hope that that's the case. There's a battle between Baggy Fan, Jay Geddes and Gareth. Now Gareth was they slow in catching up to this wee battle between the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. Gareth definitely looking like a lot more confident on the brakes here, as we can see for the helicam. So Gareth might actually get the move on the exit here into this hairpin and maybe have him into turn 16, which has been a very dive bomb central corner to speak, but Gareth has to go the long way round. Gareth went the long way round there. Jay Geddes looked like he just went to the inside, tried to defend it, and was he really putting up too much of a fight? I think he realises that's not his race. His intervals have went again.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, but nice game. Yeah, I mean, Dodgy seems to be in the clear at the moment. SPH has creeped back in the DRS range. Lofty is we've got much more pace than what Maxwell has at the moment. Baggy has got 20, the oldest tyres of everybody in the field, and is keeping the heads at the moment in the points, so he's doing well for himself. But does have Gareth coming up to him.
Oh, and we've got Lofty and Maxwell. This is for P5. Lofty's just been closing the gap in on the Red Bull. Maxwell's really not been using the mediums to good effect to catch up to the top 4, which means he's under pressure. Lofty's been putting these mediums to much better use, and the battle for P5 is very much alive and kicking. Sorry, just to cut across you there, Max, but I just seen the gaps coming down on the right hand side on the map as well. So Lofty really on the ball here, and I don't know if I just got a wee screen change there to say the rain, but I don't see anything.
No, Darnell asked for position changes.
Position changes. There we go. We've got big ones which are notable. We've got Maxwell's up 7 after setting P12. He is currently running in 5th. Baggy Fan up 5, Jay Geddes up 6, Scott up 7, so Dingle Dolphin up 5 as well if you want to include them in a wee bracket of the rain. They've all gained significant amounts. Jonesy up 6, but I think that's just AI. Hypers is lost 11, so the biggest loser there was the Racing Point, and I think that is purely just down to that's just purely down to his connection. I definitely feel like that's going to knock his confidence for here, and I think he'll really just be looking forward to seeing this race done. And only Sochi in a week's time.
Lofty,
does
that's
run wide, and is that going to ruin any real run into turn 7? If he can take turn 5 quite nicely, we could see him make a move, which he does. It is nice. It's good enough. His ERS is kind of running low though. Maxwell's going to go left to go defensive. Is Lofty going to go up the inside? He is. Side by side into turn 7. Maxwell pods it round the outside, and Lofty gets a bit of slide on as Maxwell picks up a penalty for running wide. They're trying to defend the place. So, I mean, I don't know if he lost the place and then gained it back off the track, he would probably have to get it back. But I think he was within his right to defend it, and I think just the words, Mercs. What's the words? The events after his defence, I think, like, it would have been quite harsh.
Yeah, there's a battle. There's a battle going on for the last World Championship point. I don't think Dingle Dolphin has got off the mark yet this season. Correct me. I don't know if I'm off the mark there at all, but yeah, he is tantalisingly close to one more championship point. Jay Gillis has been on Baggy Fan's rear end for.
Michael Dolphin, sorry, Max, gone up the inside of Scott into the braking zone, and I think that is a Renault double on Scott. I think Scott leaded to Scott early in the race as well, and now Dingle Dolphin's done it to Scott. So Scott's just been the victim of a double dive bomb for the Renault team this race. Sorry, just to cut you completely off there, but I just seen Dingle Dolphin shaping up. I was on the back. Oh, and Baggy Fans hit the wall. Baggy Fans hit the wall, Max.
He has.
Exit at turn 20.
Jay Gillis is going to have an easy move here. Yeah.
Easy pickings there for the Alpha. Baggy Fan's still keeping the speed, so he's going to try and fight it, but that wing damage is really going to hurt any real chances
for both sides as well.
Dolphin. And I mean, it does balance the sell it, but the reduction and just general aerodynamic performance is just going to be through the flare. So
along with his tyres, pretty. Oh well, they wouldn't pass an MOT test, as Martin Rundle would say. So.
I love Martin Rundle, man.
Lofty don't go for a move down here. He's going to go for the move. Singapore sling. Wow.
Oh, he's pushed Gareth. Oh, no, Gareth, that's Maxwell, sorry. He's pushed Maxwell wide into the old former Singapore sling. That's
the one.
What it is.
That is,
we get there. We get there. And Maxwell loses the place to Lofty, and I think. Oh, and Lofty's got a bit of slide on there, and Maxwell might have a wee opportunity, a wee luck in there to see if he can try and take that P5 back, as we see a flying lemon shooting after turn 7, and that was the battle for the last positions in 15th and 16th place. I'm on board with the battle for second place, Max. Is still SPH and Jester, both 6/10 splitting, and it's 1.2 for the full group. SPH not quite getting the luck at Dodgy, but he's going to have to look behind rather than in front now that Jester's going to have a good wee run through turn 5. No, quite actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I think Jester's just dropped a bit too far back, so he's just going to have to settle for.
Baggy's under pressure now. Dingle Dolphin. Scott has got wing damage as well as Nedclaw, I think.
Dingle Dolphins went for it, Merckx. Sorry, Merckx's Dingle Dolphins went for it. He's up the inside into turn 1. Wasn't he really wanting to hang about there? He's on a rush. He's wanting to avoid all this traffic. My tells what I saw just to cut across you again there, Merckx. But Dingle Dolphin just got the run. Baggy's wing is just really no doing him any favours whatsoever. And now Nedclaw is going to be right on the back of Scott, so Scott's dropped off after being passed by Dingle Dolphin. Is Nedclaw going to go? Oh, he's going to go for it! Late move up into turn 7, and he's banged wheels with a Ferrari. Oh my god, that's Scott, man, because up the inside again. Up the inside goes Nedclaw into turn 8. I'm not going to lie, right? I actually feel bad for Scott. He's just been bullied this race. Like, he really has.
Yeah.
Like, he has just been bullied He's been dive bombed by the two Reynolds, and now he's been dive bombed by
The
the
two
Reynolds.
new,
Reynolds
the two
have an agenda.
new dads to a baby girl recently have come to wars on track. Come on, SVH, what have you got for us? Have you got a grandstand finish? Have we got a grandstand finish in us? Crafty has got all the ERS in the world, but he hasn't decided to use it. And what
Left
has...
it late, I think, if he has.
Yeah, what has SVH got in his locker? Has he got anything in his locker? Has he got the kitchen sink in his locker?
Aye, just chuck the kitchen sink at Dodgy and just see how it goes. Go for it. Let's see what you've got. Jester's too far back. I don't think he'll be making any real move. Is SPH going to go for a late lunge into turn 7? No, quite. He still has another DRS zone on the exit at the Anderson Bridge. Craig has a very healthy 10-second gap at the front, so he will be pretty much untroubled, and this will just be a matter of bringing it home for AlphaTauri. We lost the other AlphaTauri sprightly when he was catching Jageris for P9 at the time.
Oh, Scott and Nickel going at it again. Down at turn 1, 2 and 3. They're still going side by side. Catching Baggy up for P10, so this could turn into a battle to the line at this rate, because Baggy fan is struggling.
I'm going to sit on board Ned Claude into this turn 7 again to see if he can get the move done earlier. Scott's going to go defensive and try and give a bit of a squeeze, but Ned Claw gets it done a lot earlier. Scott is just turning a bit too early. They've ran wide, and they've both just went off the road there, and Ned Claw is just starting to understeer that wee bit.
Craig is coming across the line.
And Craig is
starting to rain as well.
Final turns as the rain kicks in just that bit too late, but the checkered flag waves, the fireworks go off for Craig as he continues to stretch his points tally. That's a 25-point haul as he comes home in P1. Dodgy
Crafty
P2.
P3,
but ends up... Alright, so Jester was... right, okay. So Jester ends up getting P2 despite being P4, and Dodgy and SPH are both demoted to place. Lofty does come home in P5, but then that goes to Maxwell. Gareth comes home in P7.
Oh, Geddes
and
is lagging all over the
Geddes is lagging so bad. He's lagging so bad for me.
Baggy's under the pressure. The last road damage point on track is going to come. Oh my word. Go on, Nicholas, send it. Someone do something. Oh, he's going to go for it in the final corner.
Oh,
surely not.
Up. 2 final turns. Baggy fans left defenceless. Baggy fans getting him a push as they both come up to the line. And Baggy fan gets the point.
He gets the point anyway.
And it looks to me that Jonesy's finishing P13. Hypers is AI. Demons, I think, is actually still here. As his little one, Demons is just slammed the wall. It turns 18 and 19, and he's lost his wing there. So a battle. Lemon is getting the plates on his front wing, so both of them nursing.
We never really got driver of the day,
we never. So this is your prime opportunity.
I think we have got some,
you think,
but we never really got some to say. My vote goes to Gareth. I mean, it's probably a bit biased, but yeah. I mean, he's got some points, so I think he can. Yeah, I mean, getting points from that, what happened in that first part of the race, first half of the race, really was, yeah.
I've never seen a shaft so bad.
Yeah. Tingle Dolphins got his best points to the team as well, so
that's
good to see.
That's definitely a shout. I would definitely say Gareth would be a strong shout. This is your time to get your driver of the day predictions in while we get the top 3 and to hear what they thought a very entertaining race. I mean, I'm still quite breathless. It is a long race.
Craig.
It's definitely a long drive for the drivers as well. It is the longest race of the season, but
Michael Schumacher on the podium.
Michael Schumacher making a return. I think. I mean, he's drove for. He was always known as the Ferraris, the Red Baron, and everything else. I don't think he would have ever thought of driving for his arch rivals at the time.
21 seconds for SPH. SPH had 21 seconds of penalties.
Oh.
Maxwell was.
He really lost P4.
Yeah, Maxwell. If he hadn't had that moment with hypers, he'd have been easy P4. Yeah.
And I mean, I think looking at it, as Craig, Jester, and Dodgy, they are making up your podium, so we'll be hearing from them in a few moments' time. SBH, Maxwell, Lofty, Gareth, Jay Geddes, Dingle Dolphin, and Baggy Fan round out the top 10. We didn't really get much time to run through that. We were busy trying to get the driver of the day votes, and everybody does. I'm seeing a lot for Baggy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's not take credit away from the fact that he did drive without.
And
His
his tyres were pretty shot by the end of it, I'd imagine.
His tyres were just 50 pence pieces, really. Like, if we remember seeing them, he was in the oldest tyres in the grid as well. So, everybody's like kind of a bit stricken with shock that they can't believe Baggy got a point, and I think that's kind of really where it's going to go. You said Gareth after.
Gareth's got a couple there.
I mean, he does. We've got Owen saying Gareth. We've got Plum saying Gareth. We've got Darnell saying Baggy.
Original says Dingle Dolphin. For his first points of the season, which I can get behind that. Also got a baggy. Jay Geddes has gone for cold and driver of the day. Nice one. Baggy's going to sneak driver of the day for getting home a point. Have we got everyone in? I know we're missing somebody.
Owen.
We're missing our race winner.
Owen also says Gareth. Owen says Gareth as well. I mean, to be fair, I think Gareth really couldn't have been dealt a worse hand than he was, but it definitely looks to be Baggy. I mean, I would kind of find it quite hard to get with him that it's no Craig, because Craig was just kind of like
yeah.
Up to the front.
When I know Craig's gone offline. You have to say.
Right, so Craig's just decided no, he doesn't want to be talked to. So I mean, we'll try and get Craig in, but I mean, we'll go backwards anyway, so we can hear from Jester and Dodgy because they're here, so we can see what they thought. It was a very interesting race. I mean, I can't just help the fact that there was just a period in it where we just looked down in the booth, so very much look forward to hearing that. Maxwell says he's going to need to watch the footage back, just giving him a heads up about that safety car, because we just kind of lost our minds in the booth. So, but it does seem to be Baggy getting a fair size of the vote, and I think that really will be kind of where it's going to go. I would give my vote to Craig, because I feel like pole position always looks strong. No, he didn't get pole position. Oh, he didn't get pole position, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Aye, because he led for turn 1. He kept Crafty behind him. Crafty was then
pretty
really
sure he
well
led from start to finish. Again.
Aye, he pretty much was untouchable. Craig and Jester benefited from a safety car, VSC, so they managed to save some time with that, and then he had Hypers at the end, and then Hypers disconnected, and then he was just he was just kind of doing his own thing. But I'll go with Craig, but I think Baggy is going to get the fair size of it, so I'll just kind of leave that to that. Now that we'll hear from Crafty and Dodgy now that they're here.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to be hearing from Craig. But yeah, I mean, another race where he started on pole and led from start to finish. It's becoming quite the occurrence, the AlphaTauri man. Yeah, third place was Dodgy in the end. So we'll get to our podium interviews eventually. Yeah, so make sure you've ticked your box. So then, obviously, you've taken positions off Crafty for getting penalties. But this time around, Crafty takes the position off you. I mean, you had quite a large train at the end there, so that must have been intentional. But so just talk us through that one. if you can.
Well, to be honest with you, a lot of that race I was concentrating so hard it was a blur. Trying to keep SPH behind and then Crafty behind as well. I just seen the laps ticking away and I'm like, oh, we're nearly at the end, we're nearly at the end, we're nearly at the end. And I was just like, then we got there and it was like, and I knew our penalties. And SPH told me that Crafty hadn't on, so I thought, fair enough. I've done it to Crafty on a couple of occasions. It's his turn this week.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think it's been a couple of times, like in the Austria was one of them. I think France possibly as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's been a couple of times where you've got ahead of Crafty, but I think he had his way today. But yeah, like you said, it's much. You have to concentrate so much. So yeah, well done for keeping your concentration.
To be honest, I've never sweated so much sitting down.
It's like Singapore does that to you.
Get the towels out, I think. Yeah, but well done on the podium.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we move on to our second place man, Crafty. Pretty close to the. Well, I say pretty close to the win. Obviously, you were about 10 seconds back in the end, but you were close to P1 for a large majority of that. And obviously, you had an incident with Craig, so.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you'd seen that or not, but yeah, I don't know how I need to look at it back. Yeah, I mean, he was quick. He was really quick. Just trying to stay behind him and keep close to him the whole way around. I was doing a two-stop strategy, so I was going to go for the mediums and then the softs, but then I got that bit of damage for the incident in turn one. And the safety car came right and it ruined that, so I had to go on to the hards and try and keep going to the end. But yeah, like Dodgy said, it was just a blur. You're concentrating so hard, it's just, wow. I'm glad that one's over.
Yeah, I mean, see, obviously you'll have a look back at the incident with Craig. I think we caught the end of it, catch the full extent. I know I
finishing second from there. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
At one stage I thought I wasn't going to get anything, so.
The safety car, I mean, he did probably got a bit of bad luck with the incident, and then the safety car was a reprieve in the end, which obviously helps out. There probably could have been a couple more safety cars, in my opinion, but the game decided to chuck out VSCs, and then slightly crashed in the middle of the track, and nothing came out, so which is a bit odd.
Yeah, I had other ones in my ear shouting for safety cars at that time, and I'm going, no.
Yeah, I think I don't think SPH wanted a safety car.
No.
He had quite a few penalties, so yeah.
Like, it was just to kind of cut in, but like it was quite interesting how the safety car played, because there was times where like the VSC came out early on, and I seen you coming in, Jester, like to come in and somehow put the mediums back on, and they were like, we were sitting like, all right, okay. I don't know if that's a mistake or if that.
No, that was a soft, medium soft, but we're having the incident in turn one with Craig, because I was going to get past him. If I had to get past him, I would have pulled out a bit of a gap. I think, well, maybe, I don't know, with the mediums on his hards, and then it would have been all to play for come the end whenever I had to put the softs on. So it didn't happen. So.
Is that into turn one?
Yes.
That Craig one?
Yeah.
Aye, right. No, we got the tail end it, so you'll see you're still spinning.
Yeah, I already saw that.
But we seen you were kind of closing the gap, and then you were up the inside.
Yeah.
We didn't really want to like kind of cast an opinion on it, because I literally got the tail end. It was Mix that was telling me you were going up the inside, and I was trying to flick back up.
Right,
We've
okay.
seen you can go the inside, so you'll see a bit of it if you want to watch it back. Just thought I'd say that. I was quite interested because Gareth done the same thing, like with the medium. And I was kind of wondering if that was just a mistake or not really on your pair, or if that was just genuinely how you.
No, that's how I planned it. Yeah, everybody else went for mediums hards, and I thought I'll try something different and see what happens. So, second, I'm happy with that.
To be fair, Crafty,
Exactly.
the medium hards, I was struggling at the end.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, well, I'd rather try do a pit stop, but then not put it into a wall or penalties. We going well. Sort of kept it clean and get paid off.
and the safety car was just deciding, like, the VSC came out early, there was another VSC not long after that. Paul had a big off at the last turn, and the safety car was just like, nah, we're not coming out for that. And then a bit of front wing was lost to Lofty in turn 8, and it's like, right, full safety
car,
that,
yeah.
So, and then Sprightly had lost it, we seen Scott Laney had lost it in like the racing line as well. Sprightly was just off the racing line, and then the safety car was just no coming out for them, but it came out for a bit of front wing, so it was quite
strange how it makes a decision, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it definitely just it kind of like did shake up a bit. But I mean, at the same time, like when you're expecting safety cars for incidents like we saw, then you kind of wonder what the realism is. But that final battle between the Perrys and SBH looked quite intense as well. We were too busy trying to jump between that, and then we've seen Baggy Fan and Jay Geddes. We've seen quite a few lunges into the second DRS zone. No, the one down to turn 7, the other one just after the bridge.
After the bridge, yeah.
So we've seen quite a lot of lunges in there, and we were kind of wondering if that was just like a theme. So like, what was it like just like for the Perrys? Like, what was it like just like in that train at the end? Like, was it just a matter of trying to like force others into a mistake, or was there actually going to be like a move at any point? Because every time we look like we've seen like if SBH got close enough to Dodgy was just able to put like he was just able to put it away, and then when you were getting close, Crafty, you saved so much ERS and just never used it. So I don't know if that was just you kind of settling for.
I knew those two had penalties, and I thought, don't do anything stupid where trying to do something you don't need to do. But even going into the DRS zones, the SPH got DRS off Dodgy, and I just couldn't get close enough. I seen the SPH I think go for Dodgy once, and the two of them I think maybe touched at one stage, but and I thought, no, I'll just stay out of the way of these two and get to the end.
Yeah, I spent more time looking at that rear view mirror than looking forward.
Yeah.
I could assume the pressure was quite intense. I was just going to like quickly ask you, like, what was it like having to deal with that for so long until the end of
It was horrible.
SPH did end up getting 21 seconds off of penalties as well, so he just managed to keep P4 as well. So because there was a big gap just after use two as the free use as well. But just want to pass a congratulations to the Perrys on another strong.
Thanks, well done, Dodgy.
Yeah, cheers, thank you.
We don't think we'll be hearing for Craig, but we've got Baggy in. Baggy ended up getting the driver of the day vote in the chat.
Team Williams.
So we're going to Team Williams. So we'll get the Williams boys in. So we're going to hear from Baggy for a wee bit as well to see how his race went, and if there's anything he wants to chip in next.
Yeah. I'll fire away. So yeah, he steers to the left, he steers to the right. The boy Baggy makes Hamilton look. You'll
right. Yeah.
You'll get the rest of that. Yeah, I mean, it looked. I mean, obviously, you pitted quite early. I do remember looking at it, I think that was rather early. But yeah, I mean, obviously, safety car came out, and you could go around. Obviously, that probably didn't help, but you're on the oldest tyres after the safety car came in, and then. Yeah, I mean, it looked like a struggle towards the end. I've had a battle with Jay Geddes, but you hit the wall, I think, just before the final couple of corners, and then he got past, and then it was really just trying to get home at the end. Yeah, it must have been.
I was just trying to hang on in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, obviously, I picked up damage fairly early on. Obviously, pitting for the hards. Safety car came out at an unfortunate time. I was crying out for a safety car when Sprightly hit the wall. But obviously, yeah, that didn't happen, so it was a case of go hard or go home. And I nearly cried as Ned Claw overtook me over the line. But
I thought you were going for the fastest lap in that last lap.
I tried, but unfortunately my 88% rear right tyre wasn't going to allow that, so... that was a very tough race, very tough race. Safety car came out too early for me, so...
Talking about that as well, we were sitting saying in the booth as well, like, you were on the oldest tyres out of anybody on the hards, and then you picked up end plate damage on either end of the wing, so I'm assuming that car's definitely seen better days.
Yeah, I'm sure the team principal's not happy with me, but...
You're going to tell you, the team principal's not happy, don't recall. For a start.
We've seen. I mean, you might have got the tyres to 100% wear and maybe went through a wing in the team's time, but I mean, Red Bull just definitely had. There was too many incidents where they were just treading each other's races, so it was quite entertaining for that respect. But
We've got limbs in the chat, by the way.
we've got a lot of fan momentum for Baggy as well.
I was
He definitely did. Oh, sorry, you go.
I was panicking coming around the last few corners because I heard the fireworks going off and I thought I'd picked up a puncture. I was like, oh no, these tyres don't sound great, and then I was like, please tell me that's the fireworks. And everyone in my party was just as shocked that I managed to pull it off. So
Yeah, we're gonna get.
Definitely.
Yeah.
We're gonna get. We've got Boom Boom Baggy just going
I'll
boing
get
boing
it.
boing. I have no idea what's going on.
Definitely got the fan momentum behind you. Like, I think the fans make up a few tenths of a second, as they like to say, but definitely, I feel like most of the chat is behind Baggy for the driver of the vote.
Okay, I think some of this is just taking it slightly too far then.
I mean, I've not been reading it. It's gone too quick for me. But, we got you in because we had the driver of the day vote, and it was unanimous in the chat as well when we were kind of running through the results and such. So we just kind of wanted to hear what was happening. So you definitely did provide a fair few.
I've no idea what's going on.
I've just seen some of the messages. I'll put this up. But like, you did definitely give us a good few battles. It was mainly between yourself and Jay Geddes anyway, so there was good respect there, good battling. And we just want to congratulate you on managing to just survive and get the point with the absolute state of the car, with the tyres and the wing. And
yeah, no, thank you very much. Thanks
pass the nomination.
Thanks to my race engineer Matt.
Here, Roger.
For helping me get through an 88% tyres. And massive shout out to all the drivers that finished that race and obviously the top three.
Definitely, I feel like could have put it better myself. I think Singapore's definitely no easy feat, and it is the longest race in the calendar. It's definitely been one of the longest streams that we've done in Division 3, so we'll quickly just wrap this up. Mercs, if you get anything to add before I go for the conclusion.
Stop the count.
And we're definitely gonna stop the stream as well. So be sure to tune in for the final race in Singapore at 7 o'clock GMT, where Division take to the streets of Singapore, and you can catch Division 3 this time next Saturday 9 o'clock GMT for Russia. In a week's time, which is Saturday the 14th of November at 9 o'clock. And we hope to see you there for then, and see you tomorrow.